Cell phones. Most of those who go to media expect eventually to become teachers, lawyers, government clerks, or physicians. Political parties are of little importance in Montegrano. The fascists held an occasional rally there, to which everyone except the peasants, most of whom escaped to their fields before dawn, was required to come. Political parties in the usual sense did not exist until after the Second World War. However, and even now, there are neither strong, however, even now they are neither strong nor stable. The Communist Party, for example, got 157 votes in the last 1956 election, but it has no cell in Montegrano. Its local representative is a tailor who reads La Unita, the communist daily, but has no other regular communication or no other regular connection with the hierarchy. His views are far from orthodox. We communists are not really bad people, he explains. We want only bread and work. We exist because we stand opposed to the injustices of this town. Some people work full-time building a new town hall. They work from the day the job began until the day it ended. Others ask for a few days' work to earn enough to buy bread and get nothing. This was an injustice. Packages used to come to the town officials from America. Some people always got a share, others never did. That was an injustice. America made a big mistake at the end of the war. The communist tailor thinks. When America occupied Italy, she should have stayed. It would have been much better for us. Same argument was given for Spanish colonialization in the Philippines and also uh, American culture, which, like, I'm Filipino, but we don't know much about, as far as when I was in school, we were never taught much about the Americans. Uh, the story was always Spanish, Japanese, rape, Catholic indoctrination. And of course, maybe in like college or something, it will have been changed, but that history is sort of one of the most bases. Always some place where some country attacks, invades, and it creates a new culture of backward society. You know, You think terrorism was bad before? No, terrorism was used as a way to combat an indestructible force, to make them feel mortal, and therefore to invigorate people who uh, thought there was no way we should all have learned helplessness against um, leviathans or large companies, large corporations, large governments. Uh, Terrorism, but morph. Why? Because you know, uh, America save sort of invaded Iraq. Same thing. Almost all, maybe not in Spanish era, but almost all morally backward society today. If you compare to other society, they almost always have an American intervention in the modern era, where the Americans basically left people alone for they invaded, kind of saved, and left them alone, made it worse. This is something that's not mentioned in the book, but I thought it's worth a food for thought for those who have better history, better way of explaining things, because uh, Filipinos in general do not have that. We are we sort of ignored the part where we could learn about history and improve our country, and we sort of say, let's learn about the Marcoses and let's learn how they improve our country. Even though the Marcoses were a huge spender, huge Keynesian economics type of people, they use loans. A lot of that doesn't work historically. We were at the peak, even like for those people who ignore the history of this. We were at the peak, Philippines wise, Spanish time, American time, that era. That was like that cascaded slowly into the era where Marcos can get lots of loans, and where the Philippines was said to be heading straight towards a golden age. Farmaso, the director of the school's direct district, is a communist